Right, well, let's go now to the breaking story that's just come out of the Cape Town High Court. Patricia de Lille is to be restored to her position of Mayor of the City of Cape Town for now. De Lille was ousted as a DA member and Cape Town Mayor by the party's federal executive. She approached the court to overturn that decision, and she's been at loggerheads with the DA in recent months over governance issues in the City of Cape Town. De Lille says she's been unfairly treated by the party. So let's get a bit more now on this. Our reporter Nomawethu Sawandle joins us from Cape Town. Nomawethu, good afternoon to you. So the judge, Patrick Gamble, granting de Lille that urgent interim relief that she'd been seeking, of course, pending the hearing on the 25th of May. So for now, she remains mayor and a DA member. Just unpack the ruling a little bit for us. What does it all mean?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Natasha. Certainly a victory here this afternoon for Patricia de Lille as well as the people of Cape Town. Now, I say it's a victory for Patricia de Lille because this was an interim ruling that she had been seeking, saying pending the 25th of May, she needs to keep the things going within the city of Cape Town. Therefore, she can't be removed as the mayor. Now, with everything pending for the 25th of May, she says that the 25th of May will then give her an opportunity to give her side of the story in everything that has been put before her by the DA. She says she's been treated unfairly. She has not been given a chance to give her side of the story. You'll remember there was a disciplinary hearing that has come to a halt at this point in time, and she says by bringing everything before court, then she gets a chance to give her side of the story. We do know, Natasha, that on the 25th of May, when we come to the Cape Town High Court, there will be a full bench. Now, a full bench, Natasha, is a very serious issue. But what came out in court this afternoon was the judge saying that, we'll reinstate you as the city mayor, and that's because we just want to keep things going, because if you're removed as the mayor of Cape Town, it means that we have to chop and change the mayoral committee as well. Now, for the people of Cape Town, this will be devastating in the sense that service delivery will also be impacted by the chopping and changing. So I'm just going to speak to some of the DA members that were in court today for the ruling as well. Natasha Mazzoni. Natasha, you're always talking about, you always abide by what the courts say. How do you feel about the ruling today?
I think a very complex ruling given by the court today, given the complex nature of the issue that was brought at hand. Interesting to note that the court agreed with the Democratic Alliance that in fact Patricia de Lille had declared her intention to resign from the DA, not just as the mayor in the Eusebius McKaiser show. The court saying that its biggest concern was consistency and that it didn't want to see a case of musical chairs being played in any political sphere that may affect service delivery in Cape Town, and instructing Mayor de Lille that although that they were instating her status quo as the mayor and as a member of the DA, giving her a very firm instruction that they did so on the understanding that she is a DA mayor, a DA member, and therefore she must abide by the DA mandate and DA policies. I think a very strong instruction being given by the court there. We therefore adhere to the instructions given by the court. We trust that Patricia de Lille will also adhere to the instructions given by the court, and the crux of this matter will actually be heard next week Friday, where the actual cessation of membership and the constitutionality thereof will be decided by a full sitting of the bench.
Now, Natasha, I asked you this earlier. Something very important that came out during this whole process between Patricia de Lille and the DA was that the relationship between her as mayor and the DA caucus and other members of the party was almost irreparable. How on earth are you going to work together from here?
Look, I think that weekend reports that came out in the media that Patricia de Lille had allegedly been in talks with President Ramaphosa about a posting to Washington have certainly left a very sour taste in many DA members' mouths, and that cannot be ignored, and those reports cannot be ignored. But it's now up to the DA to show South Africa that we're a disciplined organisation, because we are. Bongi Nkosi Madikizela has a huge role to play in this as leader of the Western Cape in the Democratic Alliance, to make sure that members are disciplined. We have have to keep personalities and emotions out of this. Our primary focus must be to deliver the best services possible to the people of Cape Town and to make sure that they understand that even though this legal battle now continues, their services will in no way be affected.
You spoke about the role that the leader of the DA in the Western Cape plays in this, Mr. Bonginkosi Madikizela. So I spoke to you yesterday. We spoke in regards to the people that the DA members that came out to merge with other parties here in support of Patricia de Lille last week Friday. Just take us through the process, what's going to happen to these members.
Look, of course, I mean, when a member joins an organization, that member must understand that he or she must subject himself or herself to the constitution of that organization. What we saw on Friday here was completely unacceptable. And our constitution is very clear on that. I mean, 3.5.1.7 clearly stipulates that any member that mobilizes members of other parties against his or her own party must face the music. So we know who those members are. We have identified them. The steps that we need to follow first is to establish whether they are still members of the party, because we know them. They were wearing party t-shirts. And once we determine that, we refer this matter to the PDC, which is the Provincial Disciplinary Committee. Because we're a party of due processes, then the PDC must then follow its processes, and an ultimate decision will be taken.
Now, as leader of the party in the province, what would your first step be now that for the next couple of weeks Patricia de Lille has been reinstated as mayor, to ensure that things carry on smoothly?
Couple of days. Remember, this matter, I hope, will be finalized on the 25th, which is next Friday. And I think, as Natasha said, this was a more practical judgment rather than a legal one, because Judge Gamble made it very clear that he wanted to ensure stability until the crux of the matter is heard. And I think it's going to be difficult. It is true that it's going to be a difficult issue to deal with, given the fact that the person that we are talking about left the party a long time ago. Her comments, her posture and everything else clearly indicates that. But we need to put the interest of the people of Cape Town first. We need to make sure that we rise above our party politics, work together until that court judgment.
Now, very last question from me, Natasha. Just going towards 2019, this back and forth with de Lille has certainly put the party in a bad place. Just going forward, what would you like to tell your members?
I would like to tell our members that we practice what we preach. We held Jacob Zuma to account, we hold those involved in state capture and the Guptas to account. We would be very hypocritical if we didn't hold our same members to that level. We are not a party that sweeps things under the carpet. When there was something wrong, we came out openly and said that we have a problem that we have to deal with. With the DA, you will always get clean governance, you will always get accountability, and you'll always get a party that puts South Africa before it puts the party first.
Thank you very much for your time. Well, that there was the DA's FedEx Deputy Chair, Natasha Mazzoni, joined by the DA leader in the province, Mr. Bonginkosi Madikizela, just giving us their comments and views after the court basically ruled in favor of Patricia de Lille here at the Cape High Court. Certainly a victory for her and the people of Cape Town in order to maintain the status quo and to ensure that service delivery moves smoothly. Back to you in the studio, Natasha.
Nomawethu, thank you very much. Nomawethu Sawande live for us on that story outside the Cape Town High Court.